A warm welcome to all of you. Today we are discussing Transpiration Part 3. What are the different factors affecting transpiration? Mainly there are two factors are there, external factors and internal factor. External factors are intensity of light, temperature, the velocity of wind, humidity, carbon dioxide and atmospheric pressure. Internal factor is the water content of the leaves. These are the different factors affecting transpiration. We are discussing this one by one in detail. First, we can go through external factors. What are the external factors that are affecting transpiration? First one, the intensity of light. How it will affect the rate of transpiration? The rate of transpiration increases with an increase in the intensity of light. But at night, stomata are closed with no transpiration. There is no light. That's why there is no transpiration. Then more transpiration occurs during the day as stomata are open. Then we can say, based on the intensity of light, the rate of transpiration increases. When it is cloudy during the day, then the light intensity is less when it is cloudy. That time, stomata are partially closed and transpiration is reduced. Then, stomata opening and closing also depends upon the intensity of light intensity. Then we can say intensity of light is directly proportional to the rate of transpiration. That means intensity of light increases, transpiration rate also increases. The next external factor is temperature. If the outside temperature is higher, there is more evaporation from the leaves, therefore more transpiration. Temperature increases, the rate of transpiration also increases. That means temperature is directly proportional to the rate of transpiration. Increase in temperature allows more water to evaporate and decrease in temperature reduces evaporation. Here you can see a thin film of water around the mesophyll cells. This portion we already discussed in the last video. Then when the temperature increases, this water converted into water vapor that will diffuses through the intercellular spaces. Finally, it will reach the substomatal space. Then it will escape through the stomata that we already learned. Right. Then here you have to know in all factors there is an optimum level. In temperature, that is 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. That is the optimum temperature. Beyond that, when the temperature increases beyond 40 degrees Celsius, what happened to the plants? Plants will damage. That's why up to 40 degrees Celsius is transpiration rate also increases. Later, the cells will damage. After 40 degrees Celsius, the cells will damage. Then, in the case of intensity of light, the same. The factor intensity of light. When the intensity of light increases, an optimum level, the rate of transpiration also increases. It is directly proportional. But very high intensity, that will damage the cells of the plant. The very important point you have to remember here, warm air can hold more water than cold air. Very important. Warm air can hold more water than cold air. Velocity of wind. That is another external factor affecting transpiration. velocity of wind is directly proportional to the rate of transpiration. That means transpiration increases with the velocity of the wind. If the wind blows faster, the water vapor released during transpiration is removed faster. Then velocity of wind is directly proportional to the rate of transpiration. The next external factor is humidity. Humidity is always inversely proportional to the rate of transpiration. That means when humidity increases, rate of transpiration decreases. Transpiration is reduced if the air outside is humid. Here you can see this is a high humid condition. The water content present in the atmosphere is more, that is high humidity or high humid condition. In the case of low humidity, the water content present in the atmosphere is very less. Then in low humid condition, the rate of transpiration increases. High humid condition, the rate of transpiration decreases. That's why we can say humidity is always inversely proportional to the rate of transpiration. High humidity in the air reduces the rate of outward diffusion of internal water vapor across stomata, thereby reducing the rate of transpiration. The next external factor is carbon dioxide. An increase in the carbon dioxide level in the outside air over normal 0.03% causes stomatal closure and results in the decrease of transpiration. All of you know that in the outside atmosphere, the carbon dioxide concentration is 0.03%. That is the normal carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere. It is 0.03%. Beyond 0.03% is, or in polluted area, what will happen to the stomata is over 0.03% causes stomatal closure and results in the decrease of transpiration. Then we can say carbon dioxide concentration is inversely proportional to the rate of transpiration. That means carbon dioxide concentration increases above 0.03%. Transpiration rate decreases. The next external factor is atmospheric pressure. How it will affect the rate of transpiration. Atmospheric pressure is also inversely proportional to the rate of transpiration. The rate of transpiration increases with a decrease in atmospheric pressure. Thus, enhances the diffusion of water vapor. Then we can say when the atmospheric pressure increases, the rate of transpiration decreases. Atmospheric pressure decreases, the rate of transpiration increases. The next factor, that is internal factor, water content of the leaves. Water content of the leaves. How it will affect the rate of transpiration. If the water content of the leaves decreases due to insufficient absorption of water by the roots, the leaves wilt and transpiration is reduced. Here you can see wilting of leaves is, then we can say water content of the leaves directly proportional to the rate of transpiration. Water content of the leaves increases, the rate of transpiration also increases. Water content of the leaves decreases, the rate of transpiration also decreases. Reduction in transpiration is indirectly due to the closure of stomata. and it is a natural mechanism of conserving water within the plant. All of you know that when the guard cells are turgid or guard cells are getting enough water, stoma will open. When the guard cells are flaccid, stoma will close. That is a natural mechanism of conserving water within the plant. We can go through the factors directly proportional to the rate of transpiration. First one, light intensity, then temperature, third one, velocity of wind, fourth, water content of the leaves. These are the factors that directly proportional to the rate of transpiration. Then in these four factors, first three are external factors, then water content of the leaves, that is internal factor. The next one, the factors that are inversely proportional to the rate of transpiration. Humidity, carbon dioxide, atmospheric pressure, very important. That inversely proportional. That means humidity increases, rate of transpiration decreases. Carbon dioxide concentration increases beyond 0.03%. Rate of transpiration decreases. Atmospheric pressure increases, rate of transpiration decreases. That is the meaning of inversely proportional. Then humidity, carbon dioxide, atmospheric pressure. These all are external factors. These factors inversely proportional to the rate of transpiration. Very important. Now we can discuss adaptations in plants to reduce transpiration. How the plants are adapted to reduce transpiration. This is also very important topic. First one, sunken stomata. That is one of the adaptation to reduce transpiration. Example, nerium. Here you can see this is the tears of nerium leaf. Here epidermal cells are inwardly placed in some areas. Then stomata are sunken. Here you can see this condition is called sunken stomata. Then that is placed inwardly. Then it is covered by hairs. Example, nerium, very important. You have to remember this adaptation is to reduce transpiration. The next adaptation, fewer stomata, that you can see in rice plants. Very less number of stomata you can see. That's why rice plant can survive almost all the climatic condition. Is the number of stomata may be reduced. Example, rice plant. Narrow leaves. The leaves may become narrower to reduce surface area. Example, nerium. Here you can see this is a nerium plant. If you observe the leaves of this nerium, leaves are very narrow. The next adaptation, that is reduced exposed surfaces. The leaves may get wavy, rolled or folded. Here you can see to reduce the exposed surfaces. Then this is also another adaptation to reduce transpiration. The next adaptation to reduce transpiration is loss of leaves. Leaves may be absent or changed into spines as in most cacti. Here you can see this is a cactus plant. Leaves are modified into spines to reduce the rate of transpiration. Example, cactus, very important. The example also you have to remember. Thick cuticle, another adaptation to reduce transpiration. The leaves may be covered by thick cuticle. Example, banyan and most evergreen trees. This is a banyan tree. You can observe the leaves of banyan tree. Yes, banyan tree has thick cuticle. Then most of the evergreen trees have thick cuticle. These are the adaptations to reduce transpiration. This is very important. You have to remember with examples. What are the adaptations? Can you list out the adaptations to reduce transpiration in plants? Yes. First one, sunken stomata. Then the next one, fewer stomata, narrow leaves, reduced exposed surfaces, loss of leaves, and thick cuticle. Remember this. This is very important. You have to remember this. Significance of transpiration. What are the significance of transpiration? First one, cooling effect. Evaporation reduces the temperature of the leaf surfaces. Suction force. This is another significance. Transpiration helps in ascent of sap by producing a suction force acting from the top of the plant. Yes, suction force is another significance of transpiration that helps in ascent of sap. Distribution of water and minerals. Leaves at the tip of all branches and twigs. Transpiration from their surfaces tends to draw water towards them. That's why all is minerals and water distributed throughout the plant body due to transpiration. These are the significance of transpiration. Once again, main points: cooling effect, suction force, distribution of water and minerals. Transpiration affect climate. How do transpiration affect climate? We can go through some facts. A single sunflower plant transpires half a liter of water per day. Maize plant transpires 2 liters of water per day. A single maize plant transpires 2 liters of water. Then a large apple tree transpires 30 liters of water per day. Can you imagine that? 30 liters of water it loses through transpiration. By evaporation, it will lose 30 liters of water per day. That's why we can say transpiration contributes to bringing rain. How it will contribute to bringing rain? Due to transpiration, the moisture content in the atmosphere increases. Transpiration increases the moisture in the atmosphere and brings rain. What are the differences between evaporation and transpiration? Evaporation is a loss of water from the surface of water bodies in the form of water vapor. Here you can see. But transpiration is a loss of water in the form of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. Yes. Then the second point, evaporation is a physical change controlled by the temperature and humidity of the atmosphere. Then transpiration is a vital and partly physical process controlled by both internal and external factors. Then evaporation is a fast process. Transpiration is a slow process. These highlighted points you have to remember, very, very important topic. The next topic is exudation. What is exudation? Some plants lose water or other fluids along with dissolved substances directly in liquid form. Very important. Directly in liquid form, not as water vapor. This is known as exudation. That process is known as exudation. The fluid given out is known as exudate. Remember, these exudates always in liquid form, not as water vapor. This point you have to remember. Then there are two types of exudation present in plants. They are guttation and bleeding. How it will differ from each other? What is guttation? What is bleeding? We can go through that. What is guttation? The leaves of certain plants exhibit droplets of water with some dissolved mineral salts along their margins in the morning. A special structure present in the margins of the leaf. That special structures are called hydatodes. Guttation occurs in a humid environment. All of you know that when humidity increases, transpiration rate decreases. Stomata will close. Then excess water will come out only by the process of guttation. This mainly occurs early in the morning. A special pore-bearing structures present on the margins of the leaf to allow exudation. That special structure we call it as hydathode. Very important. That allow exudation or guttation. You know that guttation is a type of exudation. Example, banana plant or plantain, nasturtium and strawberry. All the herbaceous plants showing guttation that we can see early in the morning, mainly early in the morning. We can see water droplets along the margins of the leaf. Right. Then how do you define guttation? Water droplets come out along with dissolved salts through the margins of the leaves by hydathodes. That is called guttation. The next type of exudation is bleeding. The plant sap escapes from the ruptured or cut surfaces of a plant. The plant sap escapes from the ruptured or cut surfaces of a plant is called bleeding. Remember, this happens only due to injury. Here you can see when there is a cut or injury, then only what will happen? Bleeding will occur. This is due to root pressure. This point is very important. The root pressure generated by a plant assists in bleeding. Bleeding is due to root pressure. What are the differences between guttation and bleeding? Guttation occurs from the edge of the leaves by hydathodes in uninjured plants. Bleeding occurs from any cut or injured part of a plant. The exudate is mainly water with some dissolved mineral salts in the case of guttation. But in the case of bleeding, the exudate is mainly plant sap and sugar. The next point, guttation occurs mainly early morning and late at night. But bleeding occurs at the time of injury. Guttation happens in certain plants like banana, nasturtium and strawberry, mainly in herbaceous plants. But bleeding occurs in all plants that have been cut or injured. These are the differences between guttation and bleeding. Revision. Answer the following. First one, differentiate between guttation and bleeding. That we already discussed. Second one, list any 3 advantages of transpiration to the plant. 3 advantages: cooling effect, suction force, distribution of water and minerals. Then third question, list any 3 adaptations in plants to reduce transpiration. Any 3 you can write. Sunken stomata, narrow leaves, loss of leaves. You can write. How will the following conditions affect transpiration? They are giving 5 factors. First one, still air. How it will affect transpiration? In still air, there is a chance of increasing humidity. Then transpiration rate decreases. Midday high temperature. When temperature increases, transpiration rate also increases. Dry air. Dry air, less humid condition. That's why transpiration rate increases. In dry air, transpiration rate increases. Dim sunlight. Light intensity is very less in dim sunlight. So transpiration rate decreases. Insufficient absorption of water by the roots. Then there is less amount of water in the leaves, or guard cells are not getting enough water. Then they may be flaccid. Then stomata will close. Then what happened to the rate of transpiration? Insufficient absorption of water by the roots. Transpiration rate decreases. Thank you for watching. If you like my channel, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.